Hey everyone, it's Jake here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our final commentary and our final showcase of my last Rainbow Cup. And in this Rainbow Cup, we have 4 rounds with 13 or 14 participants, if I recall correctly. And yeah, this is just going to be a quick little last Rainbow Cup recap. It just happened this past day on the 30th, so my last in my latest Rainbow Cup, and you guys will see what goes on here in today's video. So if you guys are new here, please don't forget to drop that subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below what kind of videos you'd like to see moving into jungle, because I am so over Rainbow, guys. I am tired of Rainbow. You guys couldn't tell by the lack of Rainbow videos when the Jungle Cup was announced. I was just moving right into jungle because, yeah, I'm tired of Rainbow. But in this video, we're not going to do any analysis or any team reviews because, well, Rainbow's over, guys. I hope you guys had fun with your Rainbows, and I hope you all had some very good results. And most of all, I hope a lot of you guys ranked up in the global points and rankings and leaderboards, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into our first round of my Enfield Rainbow Cup tournament. So here we are going up against our very friendly competitor, Spasmodic, also known as Jenny. She's one of my very good friends who I went to GoFest with. Well, not with, but I met up at GoFest with them. And yeah, they're a very, very good competitor who I actually used to be a coach for, in quotes, because like I always used to spar with her and teach her like the ways of PvP and like what like the optimal strategy is and the optimal plays and everything Pokemon Go PvP related. I would pretty much show her and to teach her about. So yeah, in this first matchup, as you can see, we both commit shields there, which is fine because Quag is ultimately going to win this opening matchup, and they switch into Venusaur. So this is getting a little, well, I have counters for it. Obviously I have Mantine, which, by the way, Mantine does a lot of work in this Rainbow Cup, guys. So for anyone who's a fan of Mantine out there, just get ready. Mantine's going to do a lot of work here. So we're going to fire off the Aerial Ace, and we're going to finish off Venusaur there with our wing attacks. And then we know they have Lantern in the back, so we switch into our Venusaur. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be game, and GG's well played in game 1. Let's get right on to game number 2, guys. Alright, so jumping into game number 2 of round 1 against Spasmodic, we open Mantine and they open Venusaur. So we do win this in the 2-shield scenario if we do piggyback correctly, I believe. So we are going to commit both shields here, and I think we piggyback correctly there because, as you saw, we did get an extra wing attack in there, so that was good. But they did beat me to the second Frenzy Plant, but that is okay. We have another Aerial Ace coming right up now, and they actually opt to not shield, so that's good. But we also are down a shield now, but they do switch into Fortress, so this is good. We can provide some more shield pressure with Aerial Aces and hopefully get them to block. This is going to be close. We are going to get to another Aerial Ace. Like I said, Mantine is going to do work in this video, guys, so I hope you enjoy. And yeah, we actually tried to switch out just to preserve Mantine for something, for like either a shield, a meat shield, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, they hit us with an Earthquake, which is going to hurt Quag, obviously. But we are going to be able to finish off that Fortress with a Stone Edge, and in comes a Azumarill. Now, right here, I don't know why I like stayed in here for this long. I just wanted to get that Earthquake off. And right here, I was like, okay, let's pray they don't have 2 Ice Beams. So they fire off the first one, and then they beat me to a second one. So well played, Spasmodic. I don't know why I decided to stay in. I just didn't think they would try to farm me like that. I thought they would try to kill me with an ice beam or something, but they played it perfectly there. They farmed, and I just made a super late switch. I maybe thought Quag could potentially KO, but it is what it is. Let's move on to game number 3. Alright guys, so jumping into game number 3, we are going to be leading with our trusty Venusaur. Just because, as you guys know, Venusaur is the monster in the Rainbow Cup. And it's also pretty good in the Jungle Cup as a counter to Vigoroth, but other than that, well, and also the Electrics. But other than that, Venusaur gets pretty walled by a Fortress, by Noctowl, Venomoth, Vespiquen, etc. But yeah, they open with Quag, so we catch him in the lead perfectly there, and they switch into Fortress. Now this is where Mantine's going to come in to play. Now we decide to not block this first Rock Tomb, which was a mistake on our end, because you're going to see here in a minute how much damage those Bug Bites are doing. They are definitely adding up very quickly, and as you can see, we just barely get off this second Aerial Ace, and they're going to actually commit a shield there. But luckily for us, they do decide to finish us off with a Rock Tomb there. They could have easily just farmed, but that's better for us, because now we don't have to commit a shield to Quagsire. Now we can just farm. As you can see, we're going to farm 2 Mud Shots after our Stone Edge, and they do decide to block that. So we are obviously going to block this no matter what it is. It's an Earthquake, so that's a very solid block. And now we are just going to farm this the rest of the way for a ton of energy here. And now we pretty much have 2 Stone Edges ready to go, and they decide to switch into Venusaur. So this is actually good, because we do have that energy charged. A little unfortunate we couldn't get to a second Stone Edge, but that's okay, because as you guys saw from the beginning, we do have Venusaur with Frenzy Plant ready to go, and their last Pokemon is that Quagsire. And even if they got to an Earthquake, guys, we still had that extra shield. So GG's and well played. We take round number 1 2-1 against our friendly opponent Jenny. And yeah, that wraps it up for round number 1, guys. I hope you enjoyed that first best of 3 in my late Rainbow Cup tournament. Let's move on to round number 2. Alright guys, moving into round number 2 here, we are going to be facing off against Ravenclaw Wisdom, a more casual player, which is perfectly okay. And you know, they catch us off guard with a Fortress lead against our Venusaur, so we are forced now to switch into this Mantine, and they decide to not switch. They also blocked that first Aerial Ace, and then they send off an Earthquake here, so I'm like, wait, what? And then in my head after that, I was like, oh, I guess maybe they don't have a secondary move, or I mean, yeah, that's got to be it, because they must not have wanted to waste that Stardust on Earthquake. So yeah, we are in the clear here with our Mantine. We are going to be immune to that Earthquake, so that's always fantastic. And they switched in their own Mantine, so this is fine here. They committed both shields very early on, I believe. Yep, and we still have 1 shield left. They do farm us for quite a bit of energy there, though, but that was okay, because we do have this Venusaur coming in now. We are going to have to block this, expecting an Ice Beam, and it is an Ice Beam. So now with that, we can farm a little bit of extra energy there, fire off the Frenzy Plant, KO the Mantine, and now what's in the back? And it's Kingdra. So this is a wrap, guys. We have a Frenzy Plant ready to go, and we are going to beat it to another Frenzy Plant. Or, you know, instead we're just gonna Vine Whip that Kingdra down. So GG's in game 1, Ravenclaw. Let's move on to game number 2. Alright guys, in game number 2 here, as you just saw, we are going to be leading with our Mantine again, and they lead with Venusaur. So this is a pretty even matchup. Again, based on PvP, Mantine should win the 2 shield scenario, but I'm not too sure how we lost it last time, but it's whatever. They decided to shield that first Aerial Ace, so we are going to just mirror shields here. That's perfectly okay. And they get to another one before we do, so we're gonna shield that, and it's actually a Sludge Bomb. So I just don't get how they got ahead that much energy to get not only a Frenzy Plant but also a Sludge Bomb. And Sludge Bomb costs slightly more energy, I believe. So yeah, weird things going on there. Maybe I had lag on my end, but they switch into Fortress and they commit their last shield there, so that's really good for us because we can fire off this final aerial ace, and then they're going to use their energy on an earthquake here. So yeah, it's all good though. I'm just considering this player a casual player because right before our battle started, they said I'm gonna beat them just because I guess they aren't ready enough for Rainbow Cup, but that's perfectly okay with me. Like, I'll take it. Clearly, they're here just to have fun, and I respect that. I'm just gonna play it to my best of my ability and try to win this tournament. So we do end up KOing that man team there with our trusty Quagsire. That Stone Edge always coming into play, especially against Mantine and Charizard. One-shot capability, of course, against Charizard, and two-shot against Mantine. So we take round number 2 2-0. GG's and well played to Ravenclaw Wisdom, and now we are on to round number 3, guys. And so far we are 2-0 in the tournament, so we need to win 2 more rounds to win. All right, guys, jumping into this next round. These last two matches, I mean, are where it gets really competitive. So you guys have seen them on this channel now like probably 8 times or more. It's Mewtwo Dad, pretty much my rival now at this point. Like, we always face off against each other. It's just we both always go undefeated in the first 2 to 3 rounds, so we're bound to face each other eventually in either round 3 or 4. So here we are with another rematch. This is our second match against each other in the Rainbow Cup alone. He beat me in the first one, so I'm definitely looking for my revenge here. I did read up on his team a little bit before the battle. Yeah, his team was pretty solid, but we're gonna leave with Quag, and he decides to go Venusaur. So this is an awful matchup to begin with, and we don't have a Venusaur counter really. All we can depend on is the mirror here. I was not expecting him to lead Venusaur because his team was really weak to fire types, I believe. So I figured he'd lead like Lantern or something. But anyways, he finishes our Venusaur off there, and all we have left is this Raichu. And I know this is I know it's a Dragon Claw because he just used all of his energy there, but I still block. So bad call on my part, and now this Venusaur is going to come in and just wreck us. So we have to block that Frenzy Plant if we want any chance here. We have to go for this Wild Charge, and he doesn't shield, so that's bad. At this moment, I was like, I don't really know what to do here. Do I sacrifice Quag? And I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go for the last shield. And right here, I knew he was farming a ton of energy, so he finishes us off with that Razor Leaf, or not Razor Leaf, Vine. What am I saying? Frenzy Plant. And yeah, this is game over, guys. Those kind of starting matchups are just awful. But yeah, he beats us convincingly in game number 1. Let's see if we can take this series back. Alright, guys, in this next battle against Mewtwo Dad in round number 3, this is battle number 2 again, and we're going to be opening with Venusaur. And what do they open with? A Azumarill. So they did have a water heavy team, so I decided to go Venusaur game 2, and this is perfectly fine. I don't mind committing both shields early on. As long as they commit both shields, I'm happy. So right there we tried to go for the piggyback, but we failed. I think they actually got a piggyback, but that's okay. Because either way, we're going to get to Frenzy Plant quite a bit earlier than they will get to Ice Beam. As you can see, they're just now getting to their second Ice Beam. So that's going to be a block for sure. And now we can farm a little bit of extra energy. We only do about 1 extra Vine Whip. As you can see, we have that tad bit of energy there, and they decide to bring in their own Venusaur. So this is actually really good because we can get a bunch of chip damage off here with that Sludge Bomb, which brings it down to about a third of HP. And now we know this is probably going to be Sludge Bomb, which means they probably expended is that the right word? Expended most of their energy, and they decided to give up switch advantage. So this is crucial because now we can do the Quagmire, and even though he gets this first earthquake off, we also are going to be getting an earthquake here, which means he's going to have less health because we came in with slightly more HP than that Quag. And now he has to finish our Quag off, which means our Mantine can get the energy it needs to get to that Aerial Ace. So in turn, we can finish off this Venusaur. So I wasn't joking. These are competitive matches against Mewtwo Dad again. He dominated us game 1, but we took it back game 2. And yeah, both these games went the way of the lead matchup, so that worked. That's okay with me. Let's jump into game number 3. All right, in this final game now, guys, as you can see, I'm looking through his team right now. Sorry about the other tabs open. That's Twitter and YouTube. But yeah, we're gonna actually throw in our Fortress here, and we noticed he didn't really run Charizard too often, so we were fine with doing this. And we decided to go Venusaur again, but they also go Azumarill again. So this is perfect. This is like prime scenario, because Fortress as a closer is really good, guys. It's not even, Charizard isn't safe against a Fortress that has a Rock Tomb, that's for sure. So we are going to get off a Frenzy Plant there and store a little bit of extra energy behind that. It's not going to make a difference, obviously. But we're trying to gauge here how much energy he really has, because I feel like he's also overcharging. But we're gonna finish off his Azumarill there, and he brings in he brings in Venusaur again. So this is really good because we get off yet another Sludge Bomb, and remember, we have Fortress in the back, guys, and this is perfect. This is like the perfect amount of HP to farm from a Venusaur. So we obviously are going to bring in Fortress, and he switches, and what is it, guys? It's Quag. So right here we decide to stay in. Now this is a bit risky, but we're gonna go for the Earthquake here. But we know we can finish off this Quag before it kills us. And right here is when we decide to switch to Quagsire, because all we want to do is ensure that our Quag gets to a charge move so that it can just KO Venusaur. So as you can see, we have the Earthquake ready, and we do have the charge move priority here, so that's going to be a GG. And yeah, that was my mindset there. I didn't want to switch into my own Quag just in case, because he could have farmed a bunch of energy. That would have been slightly scary. And considering how long it takes our Fortress to get the charge moves, I didn't want it to be in that scenario. But yeah, we take round number 3 against Mewtwo Dad, and we come back down the first game. We come back 2-1, and yeah, very close games and great games, and well played to Mewtwo Dad once again. Now, guys, it's the finals in round number 4, and at this time, I am the only one undefeated. So I'm going to be going up against a really high-ranked player in this next round, and yeah, you guys will see how epic this finale is in this tournament. So let's get into round number 4. So guys, jumping into round number 4, we are going up against a top 300 player, and his name is July Phoenix. So he is from a community about 2 hours, well, about an hour to 2 hours away. He lives in a state right near me. But yeah, he plays with other competitive players from his local area, and immediately off the bat, I notice he's piggybacking. So immediately, I'm like, I can't underestimate this guy. And yeah, he's gonna go for the frenzy plant and then the Sludge Bomb. So he got me so good there. So we're just gonna mirror it and see if we can catch a shield from him. And he decides to not block the frenzy plant, which is bad because he's probably gonna block this, and he does. So he's gonna win this mirror hard, guys. You will see right here. I was so close to using both shields there, but I was like, no, I need to. Our Ninetales can farm this Venusaur the rest of the way, and I know this isn't a Sludge Bomb, so we can tank it, no problem, and we can store up a bunch of energy. So right now we are even on shields, but he has the Pokemon advantage, and he switches into a Lantern, so this is bad. But the good news is we just got rid of his Venusaur, So we know our Quagsire can pretty much roam free now. So we're gonna go for the shield bait initially with Stone Edge, and does he take it? He does take the bait, so he shields, and we're gonna shield this. And good call on us because it was a Hydro Pump. So yeah, right now we're just gonna over farm a little bit. Well, no, we're not gonna over farm. We're gonna finish it off with Stone Edge, just to be safe. And his last Pokemon is Mantine, so this is gonna be down to the wire because although we get this first Stone Edge off, he can definitely over farm. But he decides to go for an Aerial Ace, and we have Ninetales in the back, guys. But we have extra energy stored still. And we get to that Psyshock, and will it be enough? It will. So that was a nail biter because I feel like he could have farmed a little bit more from my Quagsire. But I don't think it would have been enough. I think I would have gotten to another Stone Edge if he farmed too much. But yeah, I'm just thankful my Ninetales had some extra energy. But yeah, we take game number 1 from a ranked 300 player, so I'm happy with that so far. Let's get into game number 2 in round 4. So guys, jumping into this next game here, you guys just saw my lineup. We're going to be leading with the Quag. Now this is so risky because he could lead Venusaur again, and he does lead Venusaur again. So my opponent actually was not running any fire types. He had quadruple water. He had Fortress, and then he had Venusaur. So his only answer to a Quag lead would be Venusaur. So very smart on him. And clearly he's played that Venusaur mirror matchup so many times because he just completely ruined me in that. Like, he destroyed me in that piggybacking. I'm just not a pro at piggybacking quite yet. I don't really try to do it as often, I guess I should. But in this moment, we decided to not block that Thunderbolt because we know Venusaur can take it. All Venusaur needs to do here is get rid of a Quag, and he brings in Mantine. But we do have a bunch of stored energy, so he's going to shield that, which means we're going to try to swap into our Quag, and he brings in the Venusaur again. So I definitely saw this coming. But the thing here is we already have stored energy, and we had the shield advantage. So we're going to go for the Stone Edge to try to shield bait. And he does take the bait, which means we are going to shield this next Friendly Plant, which was really risky. But we get our Stone Edge a turn early. So we're going to fire that off, and it's going to nearly KO. But unfortunately, we are able to finish his own Venusaur off. But unfortunately, his Mantine just has way more HP, and it has an Aerial Ace ready to go. So, oh, well played on him. I need to take a breather. That was intense. Yeah, well played on him to read my lineup there and to know what I'm going to bring. But yeah, it's tied up now 1-1 against July Phoenix. Let's get into the final game of this Rainbow Cup tournament recap, guys. Who will take it in the finals? Alright, guys, so here it is. It is the finals time, baby. Can we get another dub for the Massachusetts players? Can we do it? I think we can, guys. I think we can. Now, we noticed on his team, since he had no fire types, I wanted to feel him out first and see what he would run. Since he didn't have a fire type, see what he would run to defend against Fortress. And we found out that he would run Mantine. So Mantine was basically his Charizard combined. So we know he has to keep Mantine in the back because he needs to counter to Fortress. Because the rest of his team is pretty much water. And Fortress, since it knows Earthquake, it can ruin a team. So here we're going to decide to lead with it because we've noticed he's led Venusaur a bunch. And then we have a Quag and Venusaur in the back to take care of any of the waters. Or if he potentially runs Fortress, we have Quag in the back to take care of that. So let's see what happens in this final match, guys. Man, I was so nervous. I wanted the win here, especially against a high ranked player. So he decides to open Lantern, and this is bad. But we're gonna play this really smart, in my opinion. So we're gonna go for the Rock Tomb, and he actually takes the shield. So that means we're gonna switch immediately into Venusaur, and he's gonna switch into Mantine. But the key the key point here is that I already had a bunch of stored energy, and the fact that he didn't shield that first frenzy plant means we can win this matchup as long as we mirror shields. So we're going to get a second frenzy plant off, and this is going to force a shield from him, which means he's already down both shields. So that's fantastic. We weren't able to get to another frenzy plant, but that's fine. We're going to let Venusaur go. We don't want to get greedy here. That's a fact. We still have Quag to counter Lantern, and here we're going to go in with our Fortress. Now, this means we are going to sacrifice some HP on Fortress, of course. But guys, we have a weird feeling he has Venusaur in the back. So right here, whatever comes in next, which is actually Lantern, we're going to shield our Fortress, and then we're going to immediately switch into Quag because we have a hunch that he's going to have Venusaur in the back. And here we're just going to farm energy and go for the Stone Edge because we know this is in killing range, which it is, and he brings in Venusaur, guys. So this is crazy. We get to the Stone Edge before he can get to a Frenzy Plant. And now he's just going to farm a bunch of energy from us. So this is pretty bad. But remember, we have the Fortress in the back, guys, and we know it can tank one Frenzy Plant. And we get to the Rock Tomb. We had the energy. We had just enough HP, and that's going to finish up the game. So I think he said he was at a Frenzy Plant or very close, but since I was a loser of round 2, I had charge move priority in this game. And yeah, I knew Fortress. I've played the Fortress versus Venusaur match so many times that I know exactly how much damage a Frenzy Plant does, and I knew that I would just barely survive from that HP range. And I also knew I was this close to a Rock Tomb. I was 2 bug bites away, as you guys saw, 1 or 2. And yeah, it was just so low HP that we could finish it up there. And yeah, guys, we take that game. So very well played once again. 2 July Phoenix, ranked 330 something. Yeah, that's our first big win against a really high ranked player and someone who's really skilled. Clearly, he knows his stuff. He knows about piggybacking. He does piggybacking to like perfection. Like, that was crazy. But in the end, we do take it, guys, and that means we win our 4th and final Rainbow Cup of the month on the last day of the Rainbow Cup. So great games, well played, and thank you for the tournament hosts. You guys are awesome as always, and I appreciate the battles, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's get full force into the Jungle Cup meta and the Jungle Cup battles. So I'm hyped for yet another tournament to cover. I'm loving it, guys. So yeah, again, this wraps it up for the Rainbow Cup. This is my last Rainbow Cup video. I wanted to get this out just for show because I figured you guys would enjoy one last Rainbow tournament against 2 challenger ranks. So yeah, that's about it. I'll leave the RSVP link down below for you guys to check out the ranks and how the matches play out. But yeah, that covers it for today's Rainbow Cup tournament. I hope you enjoyed the battles. If you did, please don't forget to drop that subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below. And yeah, let's get full force into Jungle Cup, guys. So until the next video, I hope you all have a fantastic day. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.